All right, let's go. Let's go. Huh? Hey, you guys let me know. I got my air conditioner on in here. I forgot to turn it on, so let me know if it's too loud. I can turn it down a little bit if I have to. Let me know if it's a problem on your end. I'm already heated this morning, if you guys could tell. All right, how we doing, Jake? Leafs and Panthers will be all right. Yes, you got that right, Jake. I'm a peaceful man. I'm a peaceful man until I am not. You can slap me 100 times, but that 101st time, you're going to wish you never slapped me. And I just had enough. I just had enough with Dangle, man. Went the whole Leaf series, keep my mouth shut. See where it gets you. Panthers, how you doing, bud? 7 games would be crazy. Colin says, Pomo said Ekblad's okay. Define okay. They didn't have to amputate the hand so he could play. That dude was in pain. He was in pain, man. Hungry says, Martin career playoff goals, 13. Bennett, 2025, 13. Hey, David, how you doing, bud? Jake, yeah, this is what the playoffs should be. Ain't no joke about that. Colin. Hungry. I know, man. I couldn't believe it when I was watching it. I watched my video, watched a couple other ones, and I watched him, and he's like, Sam Bennett intentionally. And I just like exploded. I'm like, what are you doing with my Saturday morning here, Steve? Now, I've had really no problem with Dangle except for the Panthers' dirty narrative that just won't. I mean, he's expanded that narrative to such obscene measures at this point. I had to say something. Kenneth says, good thing Panthers won several times last night. I thought Jaws was going to completely lose it. It was like this. When you really have to worry about me, Kenneth, is when I'm silent. Like with 17 seconds left. I don't think I spoke from the time they scored the goal to when I got to the recap room. I believe if I rewatched the ending of the game and the goal, I don't think I spoke. That's when you got to worry when I stop talking. David says, I'm the nicest kind of world, but you touch me and we have an issue and I'm too fat to run. Yeah, Chris, that's a good one, man. I hope we can keep him. Panthers, oh boy, he wants 3, 4, or 6. I would wait to see what happens in game 3. I would wait to see how game 3 goes. Because if they win 3, I would seriously be surprised if we also win 4. I think we're going to go back to Edmonton 2-2. How you doing, Jace? Joseph, how you doing, bud? Thank you, Cade. Thank you, Cade. Orange Jaws finally fully sober. Yeah, it was a long, late night, man. IDK, we love you, brother. Jake says the only issue is Bennett is a marked man. Yeah, no, there's no doubt. The dude could breathe on a guy, and they would be like, Bennett purposefully ate onions and garlics before the game so that when he breathed on the guy would close his eyes and wince for a second, and Bennett could gain an unfair advantage and steal the puck. I mean, I really believe that that's what's coming next. Jackson says, Jaws, thank you for standing up for us again. I'm thinking of making a video myself exposing the narrative. I'm sick of the disrespect for our hockey team. It's just gotten old. You know what I mean? I appreciate that comment, man. I didn't know if I wanted to make that video. I didn't know if I should produce it. I made it, but I struggled on the publish button. I was like, do I want the smoke? F it. Take the smoke. Because I remained quiet the whole Leaf series about it. I just no, I want to focus on the hockey. But, dude, what is he doing? Is that right, Hungry? The game-winning goal in Spanish? I have to check that out. Jake says, by the way, I also just got my Kachuk in the mail and got a blank white jersey. Very nice. Sergio. Yeah, Strafossi. Good call. Good point. Forsling did do fantastic. He played fantastic last night. He was more like himself last night. You can tell he doesn't either have the energy or there must be a little bit of an injury there. It's either that or just McDavid makes him look a little bit slower than he would normally look. Could be that. But he played well. You're right, David. Yeah, Kenneth, the guy in the chat who mentioned the Ekblad complaint-o-meter. Unfortunately, I complained enough to the point where there's no way his hand's not broke, right? There's no way his hand's not broke. I know when they say he's okay, but, I mean, wherever that puck hit him has to be screwed up. Appreciate that, Jackson. So Jackson wants to know how we all feeling about Brad Marchand, Panthers legend. Please give that man the money. Give him the money. Please. I don't know how we're going to keep all three guys. I really don't. Holy crap. Thank you, Amanda. Oh, I just pulled a muscle in my back. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. Holy crap. Good morning. She says, I said I'd guarantee a win, and Dana have more faith. We get too emotional. It's okay. So we understand this is a great team. Ryan needs to keep up with his predictions because it's working. I think if everything is clicking, we are the better team. Amanda, thank you again. Thank you. I'll answer that question in a second, Panthers. So, I mean, what Kachuk said after the game kind of encapsulates how I feel. We could be 0-2. We could be 2-0. You know? The way I see it is obviously it's just incredibly even. You would think Bobrovsky would be better than Skinner, but it's not really working out that way. You would think McDavid and Draisaitl would be dominating. Not McDavid, not as much. Draisaitl, obviously, if we could stop leaving him alone on the side of the net, would be nice. But this is all just coming down to, I mean, you've seen Marchand's goal. Who was it that came back? I don't know if it was Bouchard or Nurse or Kane. I don't know which defenseman it was, but I think maybe it was Kane. He comes back and he does the right thing. He impedes Marchand's shot, but because Skinner was expecting one thing and the puck did another because the shot got impeded, that's why the puck went in the back of the net. And so, I mean, it's just going to be little crispy things like that decide who gets this cup. It's just insane. Panthers, do I still have Cats in 6? Ooh. Ask me again after game 6. I'll tell you what, Panthers. I mean, obviously I would love Panthers in 6. Watching these two teams play, trying to figure out who's going to win 2 games in a row is where I struggle. I can't figure out who's going to win 2 games in a row. I guess if Florida wins game 3, we would win 2 games in a row. But I have a heart for us to win in 6. We got to win both at home. I wouldn't bet my life savings on it right now. Chris, I know he won't respond, but I figured I'd put that out there so that he couldn't call me a turtle. You know what I mean? I figured I'd put that out there. So just in case he wants to, say anything, I'm happy to do it in a public forum. I figured I'd put that out there. Through my eyes, says, you absolutely did the right thing, that video. He was insufferable, and we're all tired of it. And that's the thing, to the point where you either let it fuel you or you never play never-ending defense offline. And that's the thing, man. It's just like, I'm tired of it. I mean, are our guys perfect angels? No. But there's too many plays like last night where Bennett just gets tripped. He's not doing anything intentional. And then people will say, well, Bennett's done this before, and they'll use an example like last night, as an example of him doing it before. So they're just creating their own imaginary bubble that completely detracts from any time maybe he does do something or any player does something. And just tired of it, man. Pente says, Cat star players need to play better if they want to hoist that Lord Stanley. Pente, I think the fourth line needs to be better. I think we're going to need a little bit of juice out of that fourth line because Reinhart is cooked. I mean, I love the man to death, but Reinhart is exhausted. You can see it. Watch Reinhart when he's away from the puck. I mean, he's toast. So he's not picking up his game. Barkov is carrying water on that top line right now. We're not going to be getting a bunch of goals out of that top line. Kachuk's not. All we can ask from those guys is not allowing Draisaitl, McDavid, and Nugent Hopkins to run the show. It's our third or fourth line, in my opinion, that we're going to need, and defensemen like Kulikov last night. Schmidt had some assists. Those are the guys I think we're going to need because I think the best we can get out of our top six is even Steven. Kenneth says, watching this series, Panthers need to sign Marchand and Bennett. Otherwise, a three-peat may be off the table energy-wise. I agree there. I hope we can do it. I hope so too, Bling Bling. Jake says, which run has me the most stressed as far as fandom-wise? Yeah. Is it this year's run or last year's? It's got to be this year. It's got to be this year, Jake, because I've said this before, but because I knew Fluffy was dying, I never left any room in my brain for the possibility that the Panthers were going to lose the cup and Fluffy was dying. I would joke with Kyle. I would be like, even Satan would be like, that's a bit much, don't you think? So I didn't leave a lot. I was stressed, but like this year, I'm like, oh, we might lose. We might lose. Last year there was none of that. There was like, there's no way we're gonna lose, and then the dog dies. I just didn't have any room in my head for that. And they said Sasha and Reinhart have both been bad. I mean, Barkov's trying to hold some water. No, I don't disagree with you, Pente. I don't. I just don't know how much gas Reinhart has to improve. I agree there, David. I know I'm behind on the chat. I'm trying to get back. Oh, it was Draisaitl? Okay. All right. I wasn't sure who it was. I know Reinhart had the breakaway. Cat's in 17. Honestly, I don't even think we should worry about who's going to win this one. I'm more concerned about who's going to win next year's Cup finals between Florida and Edmonton. I'm already on to the next one. Is that going to be the rubber match, or is that going to be Florida going for 3 straight? I mean, really, that's where my brain is at this point, because I don't think nobody's close in the West to beating Edmonton. There's nobody close to eliminating this team in the West. Now, Florida might get a little bit dicey next year because how many times can you go to the Cup in a row? But I fully anticipate, regardless of what happens in this series, Edmonton will be back here next year. I can't imagine. I don't think anybody's close to them. Jackson, I appreciate that, bud. Aya Reed says Reinhart took Swaggy's bad energy. Yeah, they kind of flipped a little bit, right? So we got Monday and we got Thursday. I'll tell you what, we get the 2 days off before Monday, and then we get 2 days off again before the Thursday game. To me, that gives the Panthers a little bit of an advantage in the sense that we probably need the rest more than Edmonton does. Damien, man, that's I know. Fly says, I can understand his delusion about Stolarz, right? But looking at last night and putting blame on Bennett is just pandering to the Canadian audience. I mean, it's one thing if he wanted to say it was his fault, but the game plan it's just at some point somebody had to say something. I wish it was somebody with a bigger audience than me, because only so many people are going to see it. That's the only disappointing thing, is I wish somebody, with 50 or 100,000, subscribers that was going to get 50,000 views. I wish somebody else would say something. So that's the only disappointing thing for me. The Ekholm stick kick was. David says, if you don't like these games, hockey isn't for you. Yeah. Oh, that's unbelievable. And at any moment, either game could have gone either way. It's just insane. Michael says, I just don't get why Dangle didn't show the highlight of Bennett getting tripped. I can't imagine why. Jiggy says the Leafs fans cannot cope with the fact that the Panthers are elite and surpass them completely amidst their four-core Golden Kids era. Look, you guys heard me. I feel bad for Dangle. Not today, but 18 years of doing the videos, just on a human level, I can understand. Because look at me after 9. Okay, I was 6'2" with a full head of hair when I started this channel. Now I'm a bald midget. So I can understand what would have happened to a man doing 18 years of these videos. How long has he been streaming every game? Does he stream every Leafs game? He does, right? How many years has he been doing that? So I can understand how that would make you a little, you know what I mean? If I did this for 18 years and all I ever had was a couple of first round wins, I'd probably get a little Cocoa Puffs too. So I do have empathy there. But at some point, you need to wake up, man. Jiggy says the Panthers are just some failed Bettman experience to Leaf fans. Communist, right? Oh, that's okay, Adonis. So Shafashi says, "Would I put Reinhardt in the third or fourth line?" For me, I'm gonna go Barkov, Reinhardt, Verhaeghe, Samoskevich, Bennett, Kachuk, Lundell, Marchand, Luosterainen, with Nosek. I prefer Greer if he's healthy, but if he's not, Boquist and Rodriguez. Give the fourth line a little bit more of a chance of maybe scoring some goals. Give Bennett somebody to skate with. Not that Rodriguez was bad last night, but I really feel like we could use Samoschevich's legs. We could use his youth right now. I'm scrolling down to the bottom. Well, I don't want to miss too much. How far behind the chat am I? I'm really far behind. Jeez, I'll get to Vincent's comment and then I'll scroll back down. Vincent says 2 things so far. Barkov and Reinhardt need to produce something. Oh my God, Skinner is the worst goalie in the world. Worst goalie on breakaways in the league. And his 5-hole is open all the time. How many times to stretch and try to lift the puck? Amanda says Greer will be back. All right, I'm going down to the bottom because I know I'm missing stuff here. And then I'll come back. David says if Samuel was ready, he'd be in there. I know. I don't want to talk about that part. I just want to see him on the ice. I don't want to talk about if he's ready or not. Communist, I actually didn't get to the hockey guys video. That was in my queue when I heard what Dangle said, and I said, I think I got to put my jersey on and go make a video. Jiggy says it's deeper than the Leafs being the Leafs. Their fans love to write Florida off and always have. You'll never see them disrespect Tampa like this because Tampa was relevant many moons ago. That's a good point. Fly Guy says they want Gadjo out there to beat the crap. Yeah, that's true. We've got a lot of good players. Adonis says, I like to think that Maurice is on the plane with the players right now, explaining how if a few bounces went their way, that they could be up 2-0 in the series. They'll be fired up to win both at home. Michael says, what? Okay, hold on a second. Let me get the – Pente says Samoskevich ain't playoff material, and the same goes for Belinskas. I understand about the Belinskas part for sure. Jackson. Does Hockey Guy even – I don't think I've ever seen him do a collab with anybody. I don't think I've ever seen him do that. Hungry. Yeah. I haven't watched a lot of his two guys. I've tried to be like neutral and have respect that way because he obviously been doing it a long time, right? And he has a huge following. I try not to, like, I wouldn't nitpick on stuff that he says on a day-to-day basis, but it just got to the point where just like, man, I mean, this is an amazing series. Forget about anything else. I mean, just the hockey being played is so spectacular. And for one of the biggest hockey creators to be out there saying the Panthers are just purposely trying to hurt Skinner, to use that as an example, I don't know, man. I don't think it's good for the game, honestly. Michael says, I can see the Panthers being cup contenders for 2 more years at least, especially if we keep Bennett and Marchand for at least those 2. If we win this cup, I can see them asking for 2 years for a three-peat. Marchand might take 2 years. Bennett needs to get paid, unfortunately. But we got $19 million, right? You got $19 million. So I've said this before. I say it again. It's real easy. Tkachuk needs surgery. Okay, who's the guy? Ekholm, right? No, who didn't? Was it Kane for the Oilers that didn't play all season? Which one of those guys was out a whole year? Tkachuk needs surgery on his nuts. Let him get his surgery. He's out for the year. He's on LTIR. That gives us the money to pay Bennett and Ekblad and Marchand because next year, after that, Bob's contract goes away and the cap goes up. So just let Chucky sit for a year and then come back for the playoffs and problem solved. And I'm sure no fans are going to have any problem with that whatsoever. Hey, thank you, Colby. Thank you, Colby. Thank you, Colby. He says, remember in 2019, you're like, I want to make playoff videos one day. Oh, my God. I thought we were headed to like 3 or 4 overtimes last night. I really thought. No doubt, Cole. Yeah, it's a really good point. Thank you, Kenneth. Kane was out with a hernia. Okay, right. Pente says Rhino isn't as good as a playoff performer as Bennett. No, I agree there. Hi, Molly. I try to be cool. I try. I fail sometimes, right? Which, by the way, for anybody who wasn't on the stream last night, I put out a clip of the final goal. I didn't break anything. But I did partake in an accident of unfortunate proportions. But I didn't break anything. So that's progress. Here we go. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. She said, Elliot Freeman, I think at the end of the day, Sam Bennett is likely to stay with the Panthers. I would believe that. I think Bennett's got to be the priority. He's leading the league in goals and playoffs. He's got to be the priority. And then after that, you look around and you're like, how can we keep Ekblad and Marchand? Like I love Rodriguez, don't get me wrong, but if you can trade Rodriguez for the money for Marchand, I mean, you have to do it. You have to do it. Chris says, you once prayed for the situation you are currently experiencing. Yes, for the most part, right? Count Doobie. Yeah, Hockey Guy is very, very professional. Sometimes I wish he would be less professional because he's pretty funny when he does his one-liners. Holly. I do try. Hey, thank you, Green Loogie. Thank you, bud. Thank you. He says, "Who's still buzzing from last night?" Yeah, I am on the incline right now, dude. I was holding on to Kyle's arm, and I got Donna's next to me, and I got my nails into her leg, and I'm holding on to Kyle's arm, and then they score with 17 seconds left, and I just like the flip the breaker broke. I definitely flipped the breaker in that moment. I might have punched the door. I don't know. I didn't break my hand, but I might have punched the door. See, I was walking to the recap room. See, what happened was I was walking to the recap room, and I grabbed the knob, after they scored 17 seconds left. I grabbed the doorknob, and for whatever reason, instead of just pushing the door open, I was there in the moment, and I pulled like the door's going to open that way. So I pulled, and my hand slipped off the door, and that was the last thing I could take. And I punched the door. I didn't like punch a hole in there, and I didn't like wallop it, but I made a noise. Oh man, I know it's only 2 games, Michael. I know. Molly said the table break was epic theater. It was close last night. I came really close to break the table and the glass last night. And then poor Kyle blamed it on Donna. I ran by her. I knocked her hard mics all over her, like covered. She was covered. The floor was covered. And Kyle's like, and Donna just spilled her hard mics. And Donna's just sitting there looking at herself like, what did I do? She just sitting there minding her own business. Kazuma says, saw this debate online, wanted your opinion. Is it harder for the average man to hit a baseball in an MLB game or score a goal in an NHL game? Oh, God, it would have to be easier for an average man to hit a baseball. I would think that would be easier because, it's just you and the ball. Like dumb luck, at some point, you're going to hit the ball. But if you are an average person, like, I can skate. Like if I put on ice skates, I won't fall. Like I can skate, but I would never score a goal. I don't even know how the hell to hold the stick. Count, dude. Yeah, hockey guy does have some funny one-liners. John Shan says, the more I look at it, Bennett priority and Marchand only if he takes a big discount. Let Ekblad go and replace with a decent D-man, something like Fabro. Well, if Ekblad goes, you have the money for Marchand, right? This is where I wish that we had a little bit more emphasis on drafting defensemen so that maybe there'd be like a guy that we would like be looking at to be, moved up, right, from the AHL. I would hate to see Ekblad go because, first of all, then who are we going to complain about every game? So there's a problem there. You would feel it would leave a void for sure. And secondly, you'd have to replace them with Jones. So Forsling, Jones, Mikkola, Blank, right? Now you could probably go get Blank for $3 or $4 million, right? You think? You gotta. If you could keep all 3, we could possibly be back in again. Rats in the chat, people. Hey, Case. Castle Siege, good question. Says, hey, Jaws, as a Stars fan, I don't know what's going to happen now with Dallas firing DeBoer. It's huge, and a lot of star players weren't happy with DeBoer speaking out. You can't throw your goalie under the bus like that. I don't care if it's true. I don't care if Otter was 50-0 against the rest of the league and 0-10 against Edmonton. You can't get in front of the cameras and say what he said and expect that you and that goalie are going to be on the same team the next year. So what Dallas does at this point, what I can say is this, Castle. I hope they take their time because Florida was really close. We were close-ish. And we lost in that last year. We lost Quenneville, right? And then we fired Brunette. And they went out and got Maurice, and we've been to the Cup 3 straight times since then. So if you get the right guy that can elevate those players to the next level, they've got the talent there. Certainly they got the goalie, despite what DeBoer said. So I don't know the names that are out there right now, but if they take their time and get the right, they need a guy that can elevate their game, to get them playing harder and stronger and come playoff time. Green Loogie, it might be. Manda says, I think we're going to win the Cup and try for a three-peat, and that's when it ends like the Chiefs. Oh, wow. Well, then what? It would be Edmonton again next year, right? It's going to be Edmonton again next year. It doesn't matter what happens here. It's going to be Edmonton again next year in terms of getting to the Cup. Nobody in the West is close unless, Dallas can get a better coach, maybe. I don't know. Appreciate that, Jackson. Oh, that's nice, David. Svaz says, I almost did the Bill Zito with the water bottle. Yeah. Hey, Jamal. Yeah, congrats to Donna on finally getting baptized. Yep, that's right. She's like, Kyle's like, she spilled her hard mics, and I knew I had done it. I'm like, well, that's part of the tradition now. Welcome to the family. Kay says, you heard me punch it? Yeah. Yeah, I was not happy. I had a moment. Better than punching the camera, right? Hey, Toad. You're probably correct there, Amanda. Jamal says Cats in 5. I mean, I don't know, Jamal. Don't you think that would be a little bit harsh on the Canadian fan base? Not just Oilers, but Canada in general. That'd be kind of rough. And that'd be rough if Panthers somehow won 4 straight. I mean, it's possible, because anything's possible in this series. Are there going to be any games that don't go to overtime? That's what I want to know. Through My Eyes says, I can't believe they gave up that goal. It gave me bad vibes. Losing in game 1 overtime, and then they can't hold for the last 30 seconds. The last icing, I mean, they got an empty net. I wish we would have just been flipping the puck high. But also, if we could win a draw after an icing, that would be nice. That would go a long way. Can somebody look up the face-off percentages last night? Was it as bad as I thought it was? Oh, the Wi-Fi again? Must be okay now. I'm going to scroll to the bottom again. Yeah, Viva says it's been funny to see how many Boston. Hold on a second. Chat jumped on me. Said it's been funny to see how many Boston fans are rooting for the Panthers. It feels absurd. It's really weird. It's really interesting. It's so much fun, man. Marchand is like, he's got to stay. Like, he's got to want to stay. Like, his mom's got to be like, Brad, you know you can't leave, right? You can't leave this. It's too much damn fun. Why would he want to go, especially if we win again? David says, heck, it could be the Oilers win in 27, but they're a state. Oh, Jesus, David. Oh, right. Please, no Canadians take that personal. It's a funny joke. That's pretty funny. So, IDK says, I wonder if the Cats having home ice line will change the advantage to matchup, will eventually help them out significantly. I'm curious about that as well. What would really help us out is Greer. We need the difference between Greer and Boquist is significant. It really is. But we need Greer to be right. To be, you know what I mean? We can't risk him going out there and not being able to finish the game, especially if it's another double overtime again. Michael says Laviolette to Dallas. That's another name that's out there. I forgot he was out there. It's certainly possible. I don't know how his systems would work, but I know it's not going to be somebody like Torts or something like that. Communist says neutral fans must be loving these finals, unlike Edmonton and Florida fans who need heart medications. There's only been 2 games. I have never been so thankful for the 2 nights off. I mean, I'm super thankful for the 2 nights off, to say the least. Dave says we did well on face-offs last night. Well, if somebody will look it up. So we were 54%, huh? God, it didn't feel that way. What was the breakdown between offensive zone and defensive zone and neutral zone? It felt like we kept losing those draws when we were icing the puck. I do know we won our fair share of neutral zone, but it feels like in the defensive zone that we were losing a lot of those draws when we would ice the puck. Did I see something else here? I'm sorry I'm missing a lot of comments, everybody. The chat's going super fast. Thank you, Raphael. Thank you, Raphael. Appreciate that, bud. Rangers and now Panthers fan here. This channel deserves more views. Was wondering if you considered investing in equipment like Michael and acoustic stuff. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that, Raphael. Email me. I'll chat with you a little bit about that. The email is flyingfluffyhockey@gmail.com. Consider investing in that. I've got a decent, what is these? The Yeti here. What I have here, but what I need to do, what we're going to do, not what I need to do. Next year, the quality of the stream's outputs should be significantly better because I'm not going to be using this little webcam anymore. I need to upgrade my camera setup for the web for the streaming so that things are a lot better. So like this stream and the game streams, the quality is going to be significantly better because we are going to upgrade things, to put it that way. Patel Ron, instead of recycling, get somebody like Knobloch. I mean, that's totally possible too. I just don't know the guys that are out there, right? I do agree with you there in a sense. You do get a lot of these guys recycled, but then, Maurice was recycled too, right? You know what I mean? So it can work for you if you've got the right coach with the right players. I think sometimes some of these guys continue to get jobs. Like I don't know what the Flyers were thinking hiring Torts. Like if they weren't going to give him enough time and build the roster right, hiring a Torts is a complete waste of time. Castle says if we lose Robertson going to any other team, you don't know who would replace him. Can you guys not afford them? Can you not afford Robertson? I didn't realize he was a free agent. That's a tough one. Hey, you guys can't lose Robertson. That's kind of like with the Panthers. If the Panthers lose Bennett, that's a big ding. Viva says Edmonton's penalty killing was like over 90% last year. Now it's 66%. It's not been as good this year for sure. Adonis says, I don't mind having Boquist stay in the lineup. Greer is a better fit with the fourth line and his physical play. I think Jesper's speed and movement on transition can help against the Oils. Well, but there's no place for him in the lineup if Greer comes back on the fourth line. I get, Jesper, I don't know where you'd put him. You know what I mean? You'd have to take Rodriguez out. Boquist has been okay. It's just not the same as Greer. And it might just be a chemistry thing between Nosek and Greer. They do seem to have a little bit of chemistry there. Bevel says, I think we need 5 big booms for Bennett in the chat. True, how you doing, Nick? Great game for Bennett. Don't leave out Marchand, man. Right? Tim's Marchand is a rental. We'll have him back next year, and we could get Bennett extended. I wouldn't guarantee he's a rental just yet. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that he's a rental just now. You may not see him sign immediately. Like we may not sign before free agency. He may want to listen to some other team, but he may also be willing to give Zito, a couple of minutes to see if anyway he match. I said this before when they were talking to Zito press conference before the series started. My personal view of how he answered the questions and the look that he gave when somebody said to him, for all we know, you've already got Bennett's contract signed and ready to go for after the season. I think that might actually be accurate. Zito did not appear to me to be somebody who was concerned. He appeared to me to be somebody who was parsing his language to not reveal something. That could be wishful thinking on my part, but that's kind of how I saw it. Michael says, but Samuel and Bennett, we need together. Bennett's flying out there and nobody's supporting him. I mean, I don't disagree. And hopefully next year, Sam Iskevich can keep the job throughout the playoffs, right? David says, I really like the fishing vids. I watch yours and a guy named Guido's Fishing Adventures. Appreciate that. I'm having fun out there. I don't know what's going on, David. I mean, I've gone out there and had good days before, but the last 2 days in the short period of time catching the size of the flatheads I've been catching, it's been a good week. Strafossi says Gallant would be good for the Stars. That's not a bad idea. I forgot about him too. Dana says I'm sticking with my negative energy because when that happens, we win. All right, hey, whatever works. I mean, I had to change to the cursed red jersey. It was time to bring it back out. God, I've lost so much weight. If you watch the videos at the beginning of the channel before the Lyme got me sick, I was filling out this jersey. I would fill it out. Now I look like a meth head in this jersey. I need to put some weight back on. Donna bought us pizza yesterday. That's a good start. Kucherov, Bolts fan, says, Jaws, go Panthers from a Lightning fan. I don't care. I'm just happy about a Florida team in the finals. I'll be happy when the Oilers don't win the cup. Amen, brother. Appreciate that. So Juju says if Bennett walks, do we keep Marchand? Probably not. I honestly feel like if Bennett leaves, that would hurt our cup chances to the point where Marchand might be like, well, this other $3 or $4 extra $1 million over here is too tempting. But I think if Bennett stays, especially, Ekblad not so much. But I think if Bennett stays and we could somehow get Marchand $4 million, he might say, you know what, this is where I want to end my career. I'm hopeful for that anyway. Trey says Robertson will cost more than Bennett. Oh, he's an RFA. Okay, I see. So it's the next season he's an RFA. Okay, that makes sense. David says our PP is number 1 in these playoffs. If I read the stat right, last night their PK was 4th. Ted, the Panthers do not make it easy, do they? No, they do not. Through my eye says Bennett would probably not turn the numbers without the current supporting cast, and I think he knows that. My internet again. By the time I'm seeing the internet comments, the internet's coming back That's how far behind in the chat I am. But I appreciate you letting me know. Is if that way, if it's still going, I can fix it. Owl says Marchand is the first player to score a shorthanded goal and an overtime in a Stanley Cup final game. Ain't that fantastic? Michael, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's saying it's glitching, but it should be okay now, right? I'm scrolling to the bottom. Christy says you gotta get. I've got newer ones. I've got a Uyghur in the new logo. I've got a Trocheck in the new logo, and I have a blank in the new logo. I don't like. I'm not a huge fan of wearing it because it's such a heavy patch that like I feel like I'm wearing like some kind of restrictive suit. What I'm waiting for. This will be 3 Christmases now. I'm waiting for my Forsling reverse retro from Kyle. I've been waiting for it for 2 years now. Michael says, get a Marchand jersey. If he re-signs, I probably would. Michael Bennett, 2 years, 5.5. I'm pretty sure that ain't happening. I want my Forsling reverse retro. Kyle promised. He promised me. Yeah, I ain't never going to get it, though. That's okay. Tim Schools, you still got your 93 Beezer jersey. Still wear it all the time. Damn. Yeah, these are, I mean, this is old. This is from I was wearing this jersey. I'm pretty sure I was wearing this jersey in the Cup Finals. The first one. It's the starter, so I'm pretty sure this jersey's that old. I'm trying to think. It's a long time ago. Bartman says if he re-signs Marchand, yeah, exactly. Trey says, is it How do we pronounce that? Trey? She says she wants a Panthers jersey. I don't even have a jersey. The girlfriend thing is expensive. Yeah, that's okay. Luckily, you all have been so gracious with sending me jerseys that I have the extra one. But it's a good thing Donna wasn't wearing it last night. She wore it once. I don't think she likes to wear the jerseys. So I got to get her a Panthers like tank top and a shirt. Adonis, no, everything was smooth. Everything was smooth yesterday. But thanks for asking. Raphael says, I wish I could find t-shirts with the old logo. Raphael, where's my eBay store? Hold on a second. Give me a second, guys, so I can get the link to help Raphael here. Just bear with me. Bear with me a second. Here we go. All right, I'm posting the link. I only have so many left. I only have 17 left here of this size. Here you go, Raphael. There you go. So that's for sale on my eBay store. I've sold thousands of those, but I'm just about done with them. Those are brand new with tag. Those are brand new with tag. Hold on, I got to get back to it. From 1993-94. Let me see. Do I have any mediums left? Let me see what I've got. No, I have extra large and I have large. That's what I have left. Is extra large and large. And then, of course, I've got the kids' sweatshirts. But they run a tiny bit smaller. So, like, if you're like a medium large, I would take the large. They don't, and they tend to not shrink, too. They're really high-quality shirts. I bought out a warehouse years ago, like the second or third year of the channel. And I'm down to the last little bits of stuff. Like that's where the flag come from and all sorts of stuff. But it's high quality stuff. I mean, it's thick. It's not like the T-shirts that are made. Yeah, thank you, Craig. Yeah, it's not like the T-shirts that they make today. The ones I've washed and worn, they didn't have no wear on them. They're great. Ted says Dangle has lost it about Bennett. I know, man. I couldn't believe it. Mythical says I have the shirt. It's pretty well made. Yeah, when I got the stuff, I was really impressed. Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, Great White. He says it's a must-win Monday. You can't lose first at home and try to come back. I agree with you, man. Get that lead back in the series. Have a little. I'm not saying relax, but just get for the fans, for my sake. Do it for me, Panthers, please. Okay, just so we have a nice beginning to the week. Have a lead in the series. Then we got 2 days off where we got a lead in the series. And then we all know what will happen game 4. I'm reading Green Loogie. I was shocked. Hawkins says, hey, Jaws, I guess everyone was sleeping when Corey Perry hit Bob after the Marchand shorty. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Right? David says, I'll be watching from work again, so probably go 3 overtimes. Oy. So Chris says, I want to win the next game and show the league the difference between them and us. It was such a long game last night. Just hopefully our energy level is in good shape. Occam says, I'm still waiting for Gadjevich to put Nurse on his back. We haven't been initiating as much physicality. But it's probably better because, we don't need them stepping it up and retaliating against things. Trey says, but then come midnight, July 1st, Dangle's going to be screaming from the rooftops to sign Sam Bennett. Oh, that whole situation. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Bennett will be signed. Right? I mean, it may just be as simple as Bennett getting 8, Ekblad getting 5. That's 13. That still leaves us 6.5. I mean, it's doable. It's so doable. Bennett gets 8. Ekblad gets 5. That leaves us 6.5. You trade Rodriguez. That gives us 9.5 or 10. I think it gives us 10. You give Marchand 4 of that. That leaves us 6 for a backup goalie, couple fourth liners. It's Sam Miskevich, right? Because everybody else is signed. That's all you got to do. That's it. So easy. Anybody can do that job, right? Yeah, Samuel, yeah. Trey says either one of Mackey or Jack should be able to replace Rodriguez. Right. Mythical says, I guess we're having Cooper Black as the backup next year. We can't afford anyone else, really. I mean, I don't know about that because I guess he's not even been the starter. You guys are telling me he's not the one playing for the Checkers right now in the playoffs. So that to me, I think he's going to be another year off. If we could go get, I think Alex Lyon is going to be available. I believe he's available, right? And I believe he's just, he's like a minimum wage guy. Yeah, so he spent 2 years with Detroit making $900,000. So maybe if you get Lyon back, what were his numbers in Detroit? He had a 2.81 and an 8.96 this year. So that's not spectacular. Let me see. The year he was with Florida was far and away his best save percentage. Last year wasn't too bad. The year before was a little bit better, but his goals against was high. I mean, you get what you get at minimum wage, but I don't think Cooper Black. I'm looking at his stuff now. So just bear with me. I'll be back to the chat in a second. Cooper Black this year for Charlotte. Yeah, he hasn't played enough. For Charlotte, he only played 17 games. If these statistics are accurate, I don't know. Is that all he's played? They have him at 11-4-2 with a 1.98 and a 9.10. And then they have him playing a few games. Is that accurate? Feels like there's something missing there, like he would have played more games. Trey says we don't need to spend more than minimum at a backup goalie. I would agree at that point right now. Yeah, guys, talking to Pebble. Yeah, I saw him. Oh, geez, it's not what I meant to do. Trey says regular season games don't matter. Bob is their goalie in the playoffs. If Bob is hurt, we're cooked no matter what. Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt there. It wouldn't have been the case if we wouldn't have traded Spencer Knight, right? But beggars can't be choosers. So we'll see. I mean, maybe what they'll do is they'll let Black have some opportunity as the backup. And then if you can't cut it, we fix it at the trade deadline. Could do that. I'll let you guys handle Pebble. Trey. Oh, my God. Hey, Fireborn. Molly says, I don't like Bennett. I love him. There you go. Fireborn says, Jaws, if the Flyers get Nick Hague and the free agency is going to be interested in the Golden Knights, have a couple of retool. The Knights, I don't know what the hell happened to them, man. I don't know. I mean, Edmonton's good, but Vegas, you guys, I was surprised at how things went. I was really surprised at how things went. You guys, I'm thinking about it. I mean, you guys got the goalie. You already know Vegas has the goalie. Just what is their game at this point? You know, they've lost so many guys from the expansion team by attrition, and it just kind of feels like there were a little bit identity list. Yeah, Pebble says, I'm just a salty Canadian, and he's keeping the language respectful. Let's chill. Yeah, he's just expressing opinions we disagree with, but he's doing it in an appropriate manner. So that's cool, man. A lot of people here started off that way. It's all good. We disagree, but I don't want to fight about it because I'm hungry. And when I'm hungry, I get irritable. And it's not good for me to argue with people when I'm irritable. So I've lived long enough to know that when I'm hungry, I just keep my mouth shut. That's all. Hawkins says, Jaws, if we're about to close out the series against Edmonton, I'm starting. Oh, my God. Brutality says, Jaws, Avalanche are in a bad situation. A lot of contracts are bad, not enough cap space. Yeah, and that's another one. That's what I'm talking about with Edmonton next year. Like, they're gonna be back in the Stanley Cup Finals next year. I don't think there's anybody in the West. I just don't think there's anybody close. You can't count on the Kings. Dallas, they got to show that they can play with Edmonton. I mean, look at how much trouble Florida's having with Edmonton. There's nobody in the West that's going to be surpassing Edmonton next year as long as they're healthy. Trey said, he said, buddy, in a very condescending tone. Yeah, Pebble's all right. Yeah. Tim Schoolafish says, let's say for argument's sake that Bennett leaves. Who's out there that plays similar to him that could be a potential target to fill that role? Nobody. If Bennett leaves, you're going to go Barkov, Lundell, and then you're going to do one of two things. Now, if Bennett was to leave and you could keep Marchand, I would not be against putting Luosterainen at 3C and then keeping Marchand next to him. And then maybe you go get maybe Sordiff can play on that side. Can Sordiff play over there? Or another one of our young players. If you lose Bennett, I don't necessarily know that there's another guy out there, but we don't know, right? Like we didn't know Carter Verhaeghe was out there. Carter Verhaeghe didn't know he was out there. So that's up to the scouts. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's somebody that the problem is we have such an advantage with Lundell's at 3C. So now you're going to put Lundell at 2C. It's going to change the style. It's going to change. I don't know how much production numbers-wise is going to change, but it's going to change the style. I don't know about Lundell with Chuck. I don't know if that's the best usage, right? But remember, in my imaginary fantasy, Kachuk is out for the year with Sturridge, which gives Bennett and Marchand anyway. You said you think Winnipeg? Maybe. No, I mean maybe, right? Dallas says I don't trust Dallas, which I think the firing was a mistake. I just don't think you can't throw her under the bus like that. I mean, what I said this before, what DeBoer said disproved what his point was. Because he's saying that there's a sample size because Otters lost 6 out of 7 to Edmonton. And if one team loses 6 out of 7 to the other, it's not the goalie. Your team's not good enough to beat that team. And for him to just, say that about Otter and basically throw him under the bus, it's because Edmonton just couldn't contain them. I mean, if you're playing Edmonton and you're expecting to win those games 2-1, 3-2, and that's what you're banking on, you were going to lose that series. You might win a game here or there with that score. But generally speaking, Edmonton's going to get 3, 4, 5 goals a game, and you've got to be able to outscore them. You've got to be able to win a game 5-4 like Florida did last night, no matter how long it takes. Edmonton's just too good on offense. They're just not – you're only going to slow them down so much. Yeah, the game that pucked to Marchand last night. I saw that. Molly said Brady Tkachuk. Sure, but there'd be no way to afford him, right? The only way you could get Tkachuk is if you would have to package together 2 players that were willing to go there and a first to clear up enough cap space. It's just not a feasible thing for us. For Florida, it's just not a feasible thing because of Brady's salary is too high. But that is a good player for that, right? I see that, Trace. And how much does Crosby make? What's Crosby's contract? David says, so Monday, more of the same. Bob arrives and win 2-0. I really believe Bob will steal 2 games, so we need 1 more. We're going to need to steal 1 for sure. Good question. Am I glitching again? Geez. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can fix it. Just give me a second. I'm still glitching for the 3 minutes, hey? I'm going to back out and come back in and see if I can fix this up. Give me a second. I'll be right back. All right, let's see if that helped. Let's see if that helped at all. I keep threatening. It's been 2 weeks now, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to call them up and talk to the manager and be like, hey, you all need to treat this situation as though I don't have internet. It's just too much of a hassle. Communist. David says Brady does not have his brother's hands, but yeah, almost nobody does. I know. I'm just scrolling back up, see if I caught anything or missed anything. Oh, somebody, yeah, that's what it was. Somebody had asked me about Bennett's. Oh, wait, thank you, Amanda. Thank you. She says Brady and Matthew will eventually play together. I would agree with that. So somebody asked me, there it goes. Communist asked me, what do I think Lundell's ceiling is? He's mini Barkov, but would he be a less skilled, maybe more offensively minded? Yes. I think 2C is right where he would be pretty much on almost any other team, right? I mean, he would probably be 2C on at least 20 other teams, at least. So I think that's why we have such an advantage on that third line. So you lose Bennett, you put Lundell there, but now the whole really is, okay, how do we get that advantage back on the third line? How do we get a player that's going to be performing at the level that Lundell is at 3C and get that same production? To me, I know Trey says Sidney Crosby. Oh, and there goes again the damn internet. Jesus. I don't even have my phone here, so there's nothing I can do about it. So, well, crap. We'll just call it a day here anyway because my voice is getting tired. I got to get out there and get some food. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate all the support. Thank you all for all the super chats. Much, much love to you all. I've already got a couple of videos out for the day. So the rest of the day, I'm going to go eat. And I'm going to enjoy the time with my girlfriend. And we're going to take tonight off and beat Kyle's ass in Uno because he won the last game. Enjoy your night. And I'll see you tomorrow right here bright and early at noon. And the Sunday stream should be spectacular.